time to move on with our collages. Great job on cutting your shapes out from the colored paper. They are super impressive and look better than mine for this demo, but that's great. So you'll notice that you have materials at your table. The only ones you need to worry about right now are your black pieces of paper that you see and a pencil. So let's start nice and simple. Pass out pencils and black paper. Give one to each person. Give you a second to do that. Okay. Now what you're going to need to do is write your name in the bottom right-hand corner of one side and your period number. So right in the corner. You won't be able to see mine because mine is on black paper, but let's see. You won't be able to see it on screen, that is. You'll be able to see it in the class well enough if you do it in pencil. But pretend that this paper is black. That's what it should look like. So the bottom right-hand corner. Can you see that? There you go. Yeah. The reason we're putting names, we're learning how to put names in the bottom right-hand corner is just so that way when people pass out paper, everyone knows where to look for names, and we're not having to flip it all around to find where where a person's name is. We all just know bottom right-hand corner. Okay, so go ahead and get that done. So Mr. Barber should have gone over this with you in class. If he hasn't, now's a good time to pause the video and start. But we are going to be working with our primary colors and secondary colors, the colors that you cut out of paper. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. And just remember the color wheel here that we have large up in the classroom for reference. The color wheel has yellow, blue, and red in a triangle shape. Those are the primary colors, meaning they can't be mixed from anything, they just are. And then each of these, when they are paired up together, create a secondary color, or orange, green, or purple, or violet. So when red and blue come together, they create violet. When blue and yellow come together, they create green. And when yellow and red come together, they create orange. Those are the secondary colors. And they also create a triangle opposite of the primary colors. Complementary colors are colors that are directly opposite of each other on the color wheel. Purple and yellow, or violet and yellow, directly across from one another, they're complementary colors. They're buddies. Red and green, directly opposite of each other, they're buddies. They are complementary colors. Blue and orange, they're directly opposite of each other. They form a straight line going across the color wheel. They are complementary colors. Notice how each pair of complementary colors has a primary color in it. So yellow and violet. Yellow is the primary, violet is the secondary. You may now collect your materials, but keep in mind you're not going to be using everything all at once or at the same time. So just make sure it's in front of you and ready to go when you need it, but you don't need it right away. So a glue stick, a pair of scissors, your bag of shapes with your name on it, and a scratch piece of white paper. And so I'm going to set those materials to the side, except for my bag of shapes. So what we're going to do with this collage is we're going to use abstract symmetry, meaning this side of the collage will be very similar to this side of collage based off of where shapes are placed on the paper. However, instead of using the same color for each shape we place in the same spot on the collage, we're going to use the complementary color scheme. So any shape that we place on one side, its partner on the opposite side of the paper will be its complementary color. So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm going to pick out a shape that I'm digging, and I've picked out a medium-ish purple shape. Since it has this geometric edge, and this organic flowy part, I'm going to stick, well, not stick, lay actually is a good way to describe this, because we don't want to glue anything down right away. We first want to arrange things and see if we like it and be able to change things around before we glue them. So I'm going to lay my medium-sized purple piece up here in this top corner of my collage. I like that. Looks like it's kind of dripping down. So I need to find the same size medium in purple's complementary color. So the complementary color to purple or violet is yellow. So I'm looking for medium yellow. Alright, for my medium yellow, I'm going to use these two small yellow sticks that together form a roughly medium-sized shape. So I'm going to put them on the opposite side of my collage as the purple, in the opposite space that the purple occupies on this side. So if the purple's in the top left-hand corner on this side, my yellow is going to be in the bottom right-hand corner, which is where your name should be. So I'm going to place my yellow right in the corner, just like that. So they're on opposite sides of the paper, on opposite as far as top and bottom goes, and they are complementary colors and the same size. So let's do another one. I'm going to go with blue this time, and I'm going to stick it right here up against the edge of the paper. Obviously this is a large shape. Maybe I'll put it a little lower. Cool, I like that. So I need to find blue's complementary color, which is orange. Good job. So I'm going to put a large orange shape on the opposite side of the blue. So it'd be on this side of the white line. And since the blue is lower on the page, the orange is going to be higher on the page. Cool, I like that too. I'm going to try one more on the video, and then I'll let you get to work while I work. I'm going to pick out a medium red. Kind of a medium largish red. And I'm going to stick it right here, kind of in a line where my orange and yellow are. And so the complementary color to red is green. So I'm going to find a medium green in my baggie. Kind of medium green. And it's going to go on the opposite side of the red, and also as far as top and bottom goes, opposite. So since this red was lower to the bottom, green higher to the top. Cool. Notice how we're already starting to see abstract symmetry, or that these two sides are fairly similar. See how we sort of have an angle line right here of a small or a medium large shape, and then an angle right here, medium large shape. They're sort of mirroring each other. So like I said, I'm going to set you free to work, but I want you to remember not to use glue yet, just to lay your shapes out to get an idea of where you want them. But also to let you know, if you feel like you need to cut down a shape for some reason, it's okay to kind of tweak it with scissors. We don't want to spend a whole bunch of time cutting today, but if you need to adjust something to make it fit or to make it look more how you want it, that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and work while you do. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with my collage. A few things I want to point out is notice how, like right here for example, I used two greens, like a medium and a small, to sort of equal a large that could mirror this large red shape. So you can combine two shapes of one color to stand in for a larger shape. Also notice how I have some things that have overlapped. So there's a blue shape to mirror this orange shape, but the orange shape goes underneath the purple and the blue shape goes underneath the yellow. Similar here, this purple that mirrors this yellow goes underneath the green that mirrors this red. So it's okay to kind of layer things. So at this point I can start gluing things down. But instead of just picking something up like this, patting some glue on it and sticking it back down, we want to make sure that glue gets on the entire surface of the bottom of all of these shapes so everything lays totally flat. So you're going to push your collage carefully aside for a minute. Oops, just a little bit. So you have room in front of you for your scratch piece of white paper that I handed out to you. Okay. So on that white scratch piece of paper, you're going to take shapes one by one. So I'll take this red shape, for example, and you are going to flip it over and put glue on the entire back. The most important part is making sure you have glue on all the edges, that glue comes right to the edge. I don't have to worry too much about glue getting onto the white paper because it's just scratch paper, and that's exactly what its purpose is to catch glue and make sure it doesn't end up on the table, and it allows us to make sure glue gets on the entire back of our shapes. So now that I know glue is totally there, I can seal this puppy down entirely. I will put it where I want it, go over the whole thing with my fingers. Oops, that blue one's wanting to move. Stop it. Perfect. And notice, if you can, from the video, that lays nice and flat. Cool. You're gonna get glue on your fingers. It's just gonna happen. Just kind of roll it off, and it'll eventually dry and come off. So with shapes that are overlapped, for example, this red and this blue, I'm just gonna kind of need to remember how I had them, and then do the shape that's on the bottom first. So I'm gonna do the blue. So even though you can get on the white paper, that's fine. Kind of try not to. Maybe try just to go right up to the edge with your glue. That way there isn't a bunch of glue on the white paper that sticks to the front of your shapes as you move forward. But if it happens a little, that's fine. It's happening to me. It's okay. So there's my blue. Notice how it comes off the black page a little bit. That's alright. We can always go around the edges and trim them. So now that the blue's down, I'll take the red that was on top of it. Make sure the glue gets all the way to the edges. Try not to get it on the white paper a whole bunch, but that's what it's there for if you need it. So, you know. Put my red down. And it is fully onto that black paper. Perfect. So I'm going to let you go ahead and get started on that with your glue while I work. And yeah, good luck. Hit me up if you need help. So now you should have a lovely collage where this side looks a lot like this side if this side were turned around and the shapes were in different colors. So even though the shapes are different and the colors are different, there's a sense of balance from this side to this side because we paid attention to complementary colors, the size of the shape, and the placement of the shape to where everything is sort of evenly distributed. So I hope you like your final piece. I'm sure they look great. One thing you could do with this is just straight up hang it on the wall, or you could use packing tape to go across the front and the back and then trim around the edges, and you have a nice placemat and you can make a few more. And great work. I'm super proud of you and I hope you enjoy your art.